Here's the top stories for November 2nd. President Marcos says PHUS Task Force Philippines to boost maritime coordination. Crowds continue to pour into Manila cemeteries as Undas 2025 enters its second day. President Marcos is unbothered by the November 30th protests. Meanwhile, he vows full support for the Independent Commission for Infrastructure's mandate. Tropical storm Tino may rapidly intensify within 48 hours and could make landfall as a typhoon. Serbia marks the anniversary of the deadly train station disaster with a large rally. President Marcos said the creation of Task Force Philippines with the United States aims to improve coordination between the two militaries in safeguarding freedom of navigation in the West Philippine Sea. In an interview on the sidelines of the 32nd Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Economic Leaders meeting here, the president described the new unit as a way to organize ourselves into a more cohesive unit amid ongoing tensions in the South China Sea. The president said the task force will involve both Filipino and American forces and will help them establish procedures so as to be able to operate together. He added that the initiative requires creating a new structure to make maximum use of the time we're doing these exercises, citing differences in participating vessels and military equipment. Tens of thousands of visitors continued to flock to cemeteries across the capital on All Souls Day, as Filipinos returned for the second day of Undas 2025 to honor their departed loved ones. As of 10 a.m. Sunday, November 2nd, the Manila Police District recorded a total of 81,792 visitors across major cemeteries in the city. The Manila North Cemetery remained the most crowded with 69,437 visitors, followed by Manila South Cemetery with 10,420, La Loma Cemetery with 1,660, the Chinese Cemetery with 150, and Paco Park with 125. By midday, the combined number of visitors across these cemeteries had exceeded 92,000, as families continued to arrive with flowers, candles, and offerings. Authorities described the second day of Undas as generally peaceful and orderly, with no major incidents reported as of noon. President Marcos said he is not concerned about planned anti-corruption protests on November 30th, Bonifacio Day, but warned against agitators who might use demonstrations to incite violence. In an interview following the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Economic Leaders meeting in Gyeongju, the president said authorities are on alert for individuals who intend to disrupt rallies or endanger civilians. Marcos said intelligence agencies already have a good idea of who these agitators are and have been monitoring their movements. The president reminded the public that the police are deployed not to suppress rallies, but to ensure public safety. Meanwhile, Marcos said the government remains committed to fully funding the operations of the Independent Commission for Infrastructure, which he created to investigate irregularities in public works, particularly flood control projects. The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration on Sunday, November 2nd, said Tropical Storm Tino may undergo rapid intensification within 48 hours and could make landfall as a typhoon over eastern Samar or Dinagat Islands late Monday, November 3rd, or early Tuesday, November 4th. In its first tropical cyclone bulletin issued at 11 a.m., Pagasa said Tino had maximum sustained winds of 85 kilometers per hour near the center, gustiness of up to 105 kilometers per hour. Pagasa said Tino may continuously intensify and reach typhoon category within the next 24 hours. It is expected to make its initial landfall at or near peak intensity, currently forecast at around 150 to 155 kilometers per hour maximum winds. Rapid intensification within the next 48 hours is likely, Pagasa said. It added that the possibility of Tino reaching super typhoon category is not ruled out based on alternate scenarios and climatological data. Tens of thousands of people from all over Serbia gathered on Saturday in the northern town of Novi Sad to commemorate the victims of a railway station disaster a year ago. The rally was seen as a massive display of discontent with the government of autocratic President Aleksandar Vučić. The collapse of a concrete canopy at the Novi Sad train station last November first killed 16 people. The tragedy triggered youth-led street protests and a nationwide movement demanding political changes that have seriously shaken Vucic's tight hold on power. The protesters believe that the concrete construction at the renovated station building in Novi Sad collapsed because rampant corruption and nepotism in state infrastructure projects with China led to fatal disregard of safety rules. No one has been held responsible, though 13 people have been charged. Stay updated with the latest news. Visit our website at www.mb.com.ph or follow us on social media. Thanks for tuning in to the Manila Bulletin Daily Rundown.